as you can see, winter has returned to the Halifax area. Got some fresh snow out here and beautiful sunny day. So Alma and I are going to get out here, enjoy a little bit of this fresh snow, and then we got a couple things to take care of in the van here. So we figured it'd be a great time to break out the snowshoes, go check out a trail through the woods here. Thought I'd get out here this morning and enjoy this day. This is beautiful through here. Look at this. Glad we did this. This trail's packed down pretty good. I don't think I really needed the snowshoes. Might be a little overkill, but got kind of excited. I was at the storage unit this morning and thought I'd grab them. But I was there because we have a little bit of a issue going on in our kitchen. So when we get back to the van and settled somewhere, this afternoon, we're going to take a look at that. And if you haven't joined us before, I'm Rob, and this is Alma up leading the charge. She's my Schneider route here out on the road. We have been living in our 2016 converted cargo van for about 2.5 years now. And I got this channel, HeyCanWe. Just try to kind of get out, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy what the area has to offer, and try to give you a little bit of a glimpse of what it's like living in a van. I think we might head up the Como Lake Trail. Yeah, we're going this way, buddy. Oh, you know, nice little trail through here. This is a little bit of a different way of walking. And gives the thighs a bit of a workout. We came up to the loop back there and then we're coming up this trail. Don't know, I think there's a lake up here. Not sure if we're gonna make it all the way. Beautiful out here. The trails are really well marked out here too. We're back on the red trail. We got off on the orange for a bit. We didn't make it maybe a kilometer up there and then spun around. Yeah, I know there's another couple loops out by the lakes out there. We didn't make it out that far. I mean, this is the first snowshoe of the year, and they works the legs a little differently when you're walking, but feels good. There is home. We got the wildlife we can see. We didn't really see much except for Alma. Bobcat would have been cool. A little bit of what you can do if you want to help. Don't litter. Leave the animals alone. You know, all good advice. And pick up your dog's poop. So we made it up this loop here. I think we made it almost to this viewpoint. I didn't realize that was there. I was thinking you had to get all the way out to the lakes. And then we just turned around and came back there. Nice little snowshoe out here. Just making a tuna sandwich here for lunch and squeezed out that tuna water, and Alma is all about that stuff. It's like a tuna slushy in there. How's that stuff, buddy? Hey? Not good, bud? Okay, buddy, up and in. Let's do it. And I'm on my way back to Halifax here, but I just pulled into this plaza. I was just looking at my Victron apps just to see where my state of charge was on the batteries, and something funky is going on. So I noticed something a little funny earlier, that my MPPT controller was showing that it was on float, which means the charger thinks that the battery's full. So the power it's bringing in is just kind of floating along the top, and it only brings in what it needs. So either the battery's telling it that, or it thinks that on its own. I'm not sure. But when I was driving, the DC to DC charger was pulling in normal power. But then I just stopped here, and the DC to DC charger turns off when I stop the vehicle. And then we started getting a little bit of solar power coming in. Turn this light on here, and my solar panel wires come down and come into this box here. And this is so you can turn off the solar panels, both the positive and negatives at the same time. Because if the panels are on the roof and the sun's out, power is always coming in. And all these wires are fine. And then the positive side from the MPPT comes in here to the bus bar, and the negative one is this one. And it's fine. I'll flip that back on, and you can see there's these 3 lights here, and now it's saying bulk. Before, so there's bulk, which is when it's full charging, absorption, which is when it's close to full. It kind of slows down the charge for the battery, and then eventually it gets to full, and it'll flip to float. Maybe that's all it needed, was that turn off, turn back on. You know, you can do that with almost any electronic. Turn it off, turn it back on, but works for some strange reason. Okay, buddy, ready to go for another walk? Look at her sitting there like a boss. We just pulled into the park here, and what do you know, my right rear indicator needs to be replaced. A couple funny things continued to happen there on the drive back into town here. Got back there again, was looking at my DC to DC charger, making sure all those wires were up and tight. Got under the hood, make sure the wire that's running from the alternator was good. It's fine. But my shunt was reading 96%. The negative of the battery to the ground run through the shunt. And then there's a little wire that goes from the shunt to the positive on the battery. And there's a little inline fuse. Just check to see if that was blowing. It was fine. The shunt, which is basically the brains of the operation back there. So then the shunt went through a synchronization, which it does sometimes when it gets off. There was snow up on the panels a couple days ago for probably a whole day. Snow and ice up there. And the battery wasn't full. So I think it got a little bit out of sync there. So it was reading 96% full, but everything else wasn't running. So I think that's what confused me. And after I changed or checked the fuse, shut the power down to it and put it back on, the shunt must have went through a synchronization, went to 100%, and then everything was making sense. Yeah, we still got this issue in the kitchen to take care of. And now I guess we got a taillight to replace bulb in. But for now, we're back in Halifax. I'm going to take Elma for a quick run around Point Pleasant Park here, and then we're off to a friend's place for dinner. So we'll take care of all that stuff tomorrow. Look at this here. Made out of snow up on the up on a picnic table. It's like a little dog. And then this person here got the leash sitting there at the table. That is the coolest thing. You know, it's days like this I wish I had a cat. Well, this is a perfect day. Get some laundry done, got some grocery shopping done, and now it is time to hop back here and take care of this issue I'm having in my kitchen. We got the kitchen here, and what's given me some grief over the last kind of 2 weeks or so is this faucet here. It is the Valterra rocket hand pump, and I love it, but it just started leaking on me. Just crank this guy down to get some water going, which is great. But what is happening, it is leaking all there. You can see that kind of there and out the side, and it will run down and then down this hose, and it drips here on the counter. So I want to get that corrected today. And I'll show you what I got for my hookup under the counter. So just in this cubby under here, we got a 5-gallon jug of water, and then the hose runs up through here, and then I have a hole drilled in the bottom of this cupboard and then through the back. And then in the back there's a rib for the van that goes around these doors here. It's hollow, and I have insulated it. Never had the water freeze on me in there, but this hose runs out of the back of this cabinet here, up through the rib of the van here, and then out through this hole, and then attaches obviously to the faucet. It's pretty good, pretty simple little setup, but it's leaking, and that's not good. So got a new one of these. These are great little RV sinks. Obviously you crank it like that. When it's in this back position, it holds the water in there, kind of ready to go. And if you do want to drain it, you just leave it forward like that, and that will drain it all back into the tank, and your line will be empty. So if you're going away for a bit, or you're worried it's going to freeze, you can do that, and it's going to just drain out for you. I got my tool roll down under here too, so I'll break that out. So yeah, there's just a screw at the front and the back of this. Now with this way that this curves, I can't remember if I screwed this to this piece of wood and then attach a piece of wood, or if I could get a screwdriver back there. So see what we got here. Yeah, I can't get this screwdriver back in there behind the curve, so we're gonna have to take this plate off. Okay, we got the water hose disconnected here, water line, and then we got all those screws out of here, but I don't remember gluing this, but it's stuck on there pretty good. Just built that little thing there with a hole in the bottom to get this through. About as basic as it gets, you know, the rocket hand pump. I did have one of those USB charged ones. I had a different sort of setup in here when I first moved into the van, and for probably the first 6 months or a year. And that used to bounce around sometimes if I was, you know, out somewhere and it was bumpy or just hitting bumps on the road. I had it pop out a few times. One time it broke the little spout off. I just didn't love the USB, the charger. And then the way I had it set up wasn't the same as this. So it was a little more janky. We're going to give this one a shot. If it lasts a few years, that would be great. But yeah, I tried to kind of keep everything simple in this build of the van. I didn't want to have a pump down there for water. And I didn't want to have a whole lot of power draw. Everything in here is DC power. And yesterday I was getting those funny readings and all that. And then it did resynchronize itself. And then after that, it was fine. All night it ran normal. This morning when we were getting some sun and weren't driving, all the solar looked pretty much fine and was charging the way it seems to charge normally. And then driving, the DC to DC charger flipped on, stayed fairly consistent on the voltage it was pushing to the back here. That's all looking good. Now we'll get this going too. While we're in here, I think we'll replace this hose. I've never replaced the hose on this before. And I have at the end of it, and I'll do the same thing here, a little plastic piece with a stopper. This is an old racking cane. You know, when I lived back in the house, I used to brew lots of beer. And, you know, in that process, you need to have a racking cane to move, you know, your beer from one vessel to another. So this was the end of that. And it works great because there's a little stopper here, or not a stopper, but it's supposed to stop sediment. But it keeps it up off the bottom. So this can't get jammed down like this. And when you're trying to suck water, it's pulling off the bottom and going slower, or won't get stuck on the bottom. So we got that on that like so. Seems to work perfectly. And it gives it a little weight too. I didn't have this on at first, and sometimes the hose would float. So this gives it enough weight that it'll go down to the bottom and then sit. So perfect. Figure out the length of hose we want here. We're going to snip that. All right, beautiful. We're going to get this all hooked up. I think we'll just put this guy down here behind the wall, get into here and fish it through down to where the water jug is. Okay, I just want to make sure that this is all the same size and fits in there a-okay. Perfect. Okay, now we just got to reattach this water line here. And it goes on there pretty snug. I don't have a clamp on there, and I think that's fine. And got this attached here. And then we just kind of slip that on there. We're going to put the tip on, sediment tip on there. And okay, we'll give this a go here. I don't know what to do with all this water. Oh yeah, that feels much more solid than the other one was. Okay, and perfect. That's working. One thing I have noticed, catches that little bit right in here. So that'll come out when you're bumping around. So if you give it a flick. Don't think I want to drink that water. Well, right on. I mean, we got this sorted, which is good. I'm going to probably let that water sit in there for a bit. Probably run it through 4 or 5 times before I drink anything out of there. Let's hope this new sink holds here. Yeah. And we got one more job to get taken care of here. And there we go. Okay, we are all tucked in here for the evening. We got lights are on. Everything seems to be running smooth over here. Can pour ourselves a cup of water without making a mess all over the place. And we're not being heat scores driving around with a tail light out. So all seemed to work out here on over the last couple days. And yeah, you know, kind of got into a couple little hiccups and things I wasn't expecting. And hopefully you stuck with me on this one, because typically I'd skip those parts or kind of start over, reframe it. I just kind of rolled with it. And I hope I think it feels a little more honest in what I'm doing. Not that I'm trying to be dishonest, but it feels, you know, this is what it is. So that's what it was. And I enjoy kind of showing the struggle of that a little bit. But we got this bed made, and cannot wait to get into these fresh sheets tonight. And I thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Hey, bud. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see everybody on the next one. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.